it going? Are you doing okay? Awesome. I'm glad that you are here for today's Knect Kid Plugged In video. Today we're going to talk about God is near. He's not far away. He's right here. Sorry for the accent. Anyways, many people only believe that Jesus was the only one that ever walked on water. But today's story shows us that someone else walked on water. And they were only able to do that because he knew that God is near. I'm super excited. Are you? Awesome. Well, we have a brand new super verse today. So let's get started by learning our super verse. I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. John 11:25 through 26. Hey guys, it's Pastor Allen, okay? So today we're talking about God being near. So let's think of like this tiny little nut, right? You see it? Now, if I let it go, it'll drop. Every time. Because that's how gravity works. It drops. But what happens when God is near us? Let's use maybe a magnet, for example. Right? That doesn't drop anymore. It doesn't drop. With God, when He's near us, we can do some incredible things. Right? Drop the hammer, it drops. But with God, we can do some incredible things. Isn't that really cool? So it's super important for us to remember that when God's near us, when we are close with God, we can do amazing things. Like suspend a hammer up in the air with a magnet. All right, it's time for Space Donuts Racing. We're going to have 3 contestants, and you have to pick who you think is going to win. Is it going to be the white donut, the pink donut, or the chocolate donut? On your marks, get set, go! White donut wins! Alright guys, thanks for playing! Our story continues where we left off last week. We learned that Jesus has compassion and He's compassionate about our needs. That He fed 5,000 people with just 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. It was incredible. Well, right after that, Jesus went up to a mountaintop to pray, and the disciples went on the lake in their boat. So that's where the story picks up in Matthew 14, verse 25. But let's see if we can find it in our Bibles. All right, we're looking for Matthew chapter 14, verse 25. So sometimes you can look in your Fire Bible or any Bible, and they sometimes have page numbers where you can find what you need. So we're looking for Matthew. So Matthew will start actually on page, looks like page 1189. So that helps us find that out because at the bottom corners, there's page numbers. So 1189. All right, that's 1204, 196, 180. Let's see. Matthew, there we go. Now we need chapter 14. So that's the big number. So that's 5, 6, 9. Skipped ahead a little bit. 10. We're getting close. 17. I went too far. All right. Oh. Matthew chapter 14, and we're looking for verse 25. So that's the little numbers. So the end of this one goes up to 19. So then there's 20, 22, 23, 24, and there it is, verse 25. Verse 25. Shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. "It's a ghost," they said, and they cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid." That would be weird, right? You're just sitting in your boat saying, "Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream," and all of a sudden there's someone out on the water, and not in the water, on the water. That would be scary. That would be weird. And the disciples were right to be a little terrified. But Peter said that if it really is Jesus, then maybe I can do something really, really cool. This is what it says next. Verse 28. "Lord, if it's you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on water, and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and was beginning to sink. He cried out, "Lord, save me!" And immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You of little faith," he said, "why did you doubt?" And when they climbed into the boat, when the wind died, then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly you are the Son of God." That's amazing. Peter walked out on the water to Jesus. He knew that if God was near, anything is possible. And I want to have faith like that. That as long as I know that God's with me, there is nothing that can stop me. And Peter did it. He walked on water too. Jesus is just hanging out in the water. Peter says, "Jesus, if that's you, say come." And Jesus says, "Come." And Peter's walking on the water too. That's incredible. But as soon as Peter started to get a little afraid, he saw the waves and saw that, hey, I'm actually walking on water. This doesn't actually happen normally. This is kind of freaking me out as well. He began to have fear and doubt and was afraid. But he cried out, "Jesus, help me." And immediately God helped him, because God is near. And I think that's important for us to know, that when God is near, we can have comfort that he will help us in our time of need. All right, guys, it's time for our discussion questions. You know what to do. Just pause the video and discuss the questions with your family. Then hit play when you're ready for the next question. How would you have felt if you had been Peter stepping out onto the water? Why did Peter start to sink? Discuss a time where you were experiencing that God was near. How does God help us in the hard times? Thank you so much for joining us for today's Knect Kid Plugged In video, God is Near. We learned that Peter was able to walk on water because he knew that God was near him. And that's incredible, and an encouragement to us that whatever we go through the good times and the bad times, as long as we know that God is near us, we can do anything. It's pretty awesome. But before we go, I want to be able to speak a blessing over you. So would you mind holding your hands out like this? You're going to receive a present or a gift as I read this verse. Psalm 145:18. The Lord is near to all who can call on him, and to all who call on him in truth. May you know that God is near, even in the hard times. May you continue to look and fix your eyes on Jesus and do incredible things for him. Thank you so much for joining us today, and you guys have a great week.